Welcome to IATEFL Liverpool conference. We have a bit rainy afternoon and we have a great ELT consultant with us, Mr. Pulverness. Welcome to this show.
Thank you very much, Si.
Yeah. Could you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been an ELT teacher and teacher trainer for my whole career. I worked for a long time for the Bell Educational Trust, subsequently for NILE, the Norwich Institute for Language Education, and now I'm one of the 3 directors, along with my colleagues Alan Mackenzie and Sarah Mount, of an independent consultancy which we call Transform ELT.
Transform ELT.
Based in Norwich, in the east of England, but operating worldwide.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And you talked about your methods, and could you tell me a bit about that?
Certainly. We are focused on projects which are dedicated to achieving real educational change, both large and small scale.
Okay.
So working with institutions, with ministries of education, on curriculum renewal, syllabus design, trainer training, teacher development, all kinds of projects that have some longevity, that give us the opportunity to work and develop new practices and procedures with groups of colleagues, and achieve some really sustainable impact. Trying to avoid the kind of visiting expert flying in, doing a workshop and then flying out again, but doing something that's more meaningful long term.
What are the different parameters that you use for your projects?
I think one of the most important, really one of the key factors is trying to ensure that there's a thorough scoping or needs analysis to make sure that the solutions that we propose are relevant and practical for the context that we're working in. Not making any assumptions, but trying to fully understand the context and making the work that we do context appropriate. The other key parameter is building in a thorough framework of monitoring and evaluation throughout the life of a project, not just something that's added on at the end.
You have a kind of virtual office, not a physical one.
That's true. We don't actually have premises. We don't have an office. But these days, who needs an office? We work from our laptops. We have our meetings on Skype. And we meet face to face from time to time when we need to. But that way, we can keep the overheads down and keep the organisation practical and flexible.
And more about this year's IATEFL conference.
Yes, it's given us the opportunity to meet with old friends and colleagues and also make new contacts. And all 3 of us are speaking at the conference. Alan Mackenzie spoke earlier in the week about a new way of visualizing Bloom's taxonomy. Sarah Mount is speaking about transformational leadership this afternoon. And tomorrow morning I'm speaking about Kumarava Divelu's idea of post-method method.
Could you? I am coming to that point. Could you please describe something? I mean, in 2 or 3 sentences about that project.
In 2 or 3 sentences, Kumarava Divelu challenges the whole concept of method. He talks about 5 myths of method. The myth that there is a best method. The myth that method is value-free, is ahistorical. It can be applied universally. And I think you can see from what I was saying about work being context appropriate, that those ideas really fit in with some of our key values. The idea of responding to particular situations and not imposing ready-made solutions. So I'm looking forward to revisiting and reviving his ideas, which I think are really important, but have been neglected by the profession for many years.
And about, could you please tell about your future directions in the field of ELT?
Future directions for ELT. Well, I hope that the future of ELT will be smaller in the sense of, in that sense I've been talking about being about relating to particular contexts. And I think you can see this with the way that global publishing is breaking down to some extent, that you get a lot more country-specific publishing projects, and that ministries of education and training providers are much more focused on the needs of specific groups of people in particular contexts. So I think that's the way ELT should be going.
And best wishes for your presentation tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.